Hey, it's Tony talking CarBiz. I've been getting a lot of requests for a comparison between the 2019 Toyota Highlander and the 2020 on the externals. So we're going to walk over and take a look at the two, compare and contrast, and point out the dimension differences on the exterior. Let's go. Okay, as I move in, the first thing that I noticed is the 2020, that's the blue one on the right, appears to be a longer vehicle. And truly it is. In fact, the overall length is 194.9, which brings it in at about 2.4 inches longer than the 2019. Now, the interesting thing about that is they took that extra length and put it right into the wheelbase. So the wheelbase between the two of them on the 2019, that's got a wheelbase of 109.8 versus the 2020 goes up 2.4 inches, giving it a wheelbase of 12.2. So you definitely have a longer wheelbase, and that really, the benefit to you is going to give you a smoother ride over the road. Also, I noticed that the back door is much longer on the 2020. And really what I found was they took that extra interior space and applied it in a couple different ways. On the 2020, there's actually less legroom in the front seat than on the 2019. And they took all that extra legroom and put it in the back seat for your back seat passengers. Now you can see the bodies on the two really are completely different. I mean, other than the fact that they have round wheels and tires and four doors, it just looks like a much longer vehicle. It's elongated. The hood is definitely longer, and there's a lower profile. And taking a look at the headlights on the 2020, the headlights definitely sweep back farther into the hood line than the 19. So a big difference there. They did carry over the wide wheel lip moldings from the 2019, and then they also carried over the integrated mud guards in the front wheels and tires. So there's a difference for you there. The mirrors are down lower now on the doors. On the 2020, you can see they're down here, which definitely gives you a better view out the front driver's side, out that front window. And then the doors, the mirrors on this one are mounted up higher, more in this upper space here, versus the 20. The mirrors are mounted down actually here versus up higher. So that's a big difference between the two of them. Notice the 2020 has chrome accent molding down along the bottom of the door sills, and then it's black on top. And the 19, it's got chrome all the way around. Now these are both XLEs, so this is a, a trim to trim comparison, if you will. The back end and the tail lights, those are definitely a wider tail light, or I should say a taller tail light, from top to bottom. And again, I don't think it's either good or bad. Obviously the 2019 was an excellent seller, and right now, I mean, if you're in the market and you like the 2019, get some great deals on them. And you can see those back tail lights on the 2020 a little bit more narrow, a little bit more sleek, I guess you'd say. That upper spoiler is much more pronounced across the back of it. They both have you can see the spoiler up on the top just sticks out a little bit more on the 2020, and they both have the roof rail system. Again, just a little bit more streamlined, a little lower profile on the 2020. Still can put the accessories in there, the bike racks and those types of things, but just a wider trim up on the roof rails on the 19. The 19 also sits up a little bit higher. If you if you take a look at it, the overall height, just a little bit, and it's a little bit of an optical illusion because it's like 2/10, so not a big deal. But you can definitely see in the front doors, the shorter front doors on the two. So that's a side-by-side comparison of the XLE all-wheel drive Highlanders. Let's go ahead and do a back-to-back comparison now. So here's your side-by-side rear comparison between, on the left, the 19, on the right is your 20. And they really are completely different vehicles when it comes to the style. The 2019, I would say, is a little bit, obviously, a more boxy style vehicle, and then the 20's more curved, particularly across the roof of the two. I've got the blinkers on both, and you can see the tail lights again are a more sleek tail lamp across the back of the 2020. The Toyota emblem or badge right there in the middle is really the same on both of them. These again are a taller or wider lens here. These are LED lights on the 2019 as well. Just again a different look. And you can see the rear spoiler is quite a bit different in styling. This rear spoiler tends to come off and then dip down off the back of the vehicle, where that one tends to stay flat as it comes off the back of the 2019. And then the lower bumpers, very similar in terms of the materials, that matte finish across the back, but you can see the reflectors on the bottom are more of like a teardrop here, where here they're more maybe rectangular. And notice that on the 2019, the glass window opens here, and for 2020 the window no longer opens on the back in the same way that it did in 19. Both have the shark fin antenna up on the top. And I think they changed the Highlander badge a little bit, just kind of the font style between the two. This is more of like an italics style, where the other one is more straight up. But you can see the tail lights are totally different across the back. The 20, the 19. So there's a quick look at the difference between the 2019 Highlander, this blue one being the 2020. Both have rear washer wipers, both have tinted windows across the back, standard. And then this is the back of the 2019. Left, so the 2020 on the left does appear to be a wider vehicle, and also appears to be a little bit lower to the ground in terms of the headliner, the top of it, but they're so close on paper, it's kind of surprising that this one actually looks bigger, and it is longer, but it's not that all that much wider. So up front, you'll notice that both of them do have the LED headlights and driving lights, and then on the 2020, these are LED fog lights up front, and those look awesome on there. The grille is a piano black high gloss finish, and then this silver kind of, it almost looks like wings, if you will, or like a bird. That's completely new, different look if you compare it to the 19. The 19 really has kind of a pyramid effect to the front grille, where it comes up, it's lower at the bottom, narrower at the top, and this has more of a brushed aluminum finish on the grille itself. So I would say it really is a different look to the vehicle. And then this has that brushed aluminum finish, but it's more of a wraparound kind of a trim effect. Both of them do have your lower air dams, and they're the matte black finish on both. The 2019, the fog lights are more of a round style fog light, where these are rectangular, and I think those are a whiter, brighter fog light. I'm sorry. Notice the hood lines. There's way more curves or lines built into the hood of the 2020. The 19 has them, just not as many. And then take a look at your outside mirrors. Notice how low the outside mirrors are on the 2020 versus the 2019. And they both do have your blinkers in the mirrors, but it seems more pronounced on the 2020. Like I can see them at a glance as I come around, where the 2019, I think, they're a little bit harder to see. And granted, it is daylight, but that gives you a good comparison between the two. So a more squared look, if you will, or rectangular look with the pyramid grille. And then this is the 2020 I think is a little more curved, softer edges to it, and definitely looks wider, but it really isn't that much wider. On paper, it's 0.2 of an inch wider. So there's your comparison between the front of this 2020 Toyota Highlander and your 2019 Toyota Highlander. Hey, I hope you found this helpful. If you like the 19, I strongly suggest you make a move on them right now. There's some huge incentives on those right here at Smart Toyota. Thank you for watching.